You want to see something cool?
Yeah, it looks fine. So I'm sure you guys know this, but a lot of my videos are built on the premise of me having a certain emotion towards a thing, and then building on that emotion to tell a story. But that's really hard when you also have to make sure you make a video every month, and you have a day job, and you're one of them Twitch streaming VTubers that gets less than 5 viewers on average per stream. All things considered, I am a very busy man, and that gets in the way of me doing this video making thing on the regular. It hurts even more when I'm sitting here like, wow, I'd love to make a series on stuff and do that thing YouTubers do where they can just pick a topic and run with it, but I'm unfortunately not able to do that unless I have something to say. Usually I don't. So this is what happens when I tell myself, hey, do the thing. See, I've noticed that my tanking in Final Fantasy XIV video has gained a fair bit of traction, and for good reason. I mean, I did shit on paladins for a long time, but that's not here or there. I figured that it'd be a good idea to follow it up since, you know, at least to me, I've proven that I'm not a Final Fantasy XIV channel. I do many things like watch anime and movies that totally don't point out what kind of person I am. I'm sure a lot of people want to hear my thoughts on the other 4 job minorities, like healers, but I think you guys will be totally shocked to find out that I don't like playing as healers. But every cute Al-Ra girl that's an astrologian has a leash tied around my gun-breaking neck, so that says everything you're going to need to know about me. What I really wanted to try and make a video about was everyone's favorite role. Ranged Physical DPS. Couldn't tell you why. Now, the real reason I'm bringing these guys up is that this was the first non-tank job I got to 90, and I find them all very interesting. All 3 jobs are born from the creative expression of the Warrior of Light, and if you guys know anything about this channel, you know it's my one main creative outlet. Bards are very clearly expressing themselves through playing music, and dancers are dancing their emotions into everything, but machinists are where we get to have a little bit of fun. Machinists have brand new soul crystals, which is where they draw their power from. Most of the flashy techniques that jobs like the Dragoon and Black Mage can perform are ostensibly pulled from their soul crystal, which I think is neat. It draws on the power of previous wielders of the crystal and lets you, the new holder, add to it, which is where you come in after level 70 since job quests don't exist after that. Machinists are the odd ones out since they get a brand new soul crystal when they accept the mantle, which is crazy because the Warrior of Light is doing all sorts of flips and shit and proving that they've always been this extra. You just haven't been looking. Machinists just whip out guns from out of nowhere and wreck shop doing it. They build mechs on the fly, and look at their stance. Look at them. Are these guns made of styrofoam? The way they flip around, you might think so, but I just think that the Warrior of Light is embracing their inner self to the fullest degree. I don't care if your character is gay, straight, an absolute fucking slut, or some weird symbiote thing, which is a real thing that I saw someone roleplay their character as. The machinist job is just a reminder to all of us that it's okay to have a little bit of fun. I feel like it's hard for me to justify this video because I just generally like all of the ranged DPS. They all feel fun to play, and I know you guys are waiting for the eventual "haha, fuck bards" kind of rug pull, but I don't really have that. I appreciate the fuck out of bards. I think it's an interesting decision to make where a character, of course, can use a bow, but there's no classical Final Fantasy job outside of Archer that can really use the bow without encroaching on something like assassins or snipers from Final Fantasy Tactics. Those 2 jobs use bows in almost the exact same way, but then they made a decision to turn bows into large harps in and of themselves, add in a performance mode so that players could play music anywhere and everywhere, and I just think that that's wonderful. I'm not being facetious. It's a crazy decision, arguably one made because the developers were out of ideas, but it turned into something much more interesting and creates a whole idea when you take Dancer into account. From what little I understand, people thought that Lise in the Stormblood trailer was going to be a dancer with that kind of outfit, which is why the reveal of dancers in Shadowbringers was such a big deal. I love that the developers knew where the player wanted to go in terms of job design and took that option in full force. Something that's shared among all jobs in the game is building resources, managing buff timers, and spending those resources carefully. But what I think is really cool about all of the ranged DPS jobs is that they're all extremely utilitarian in their endeavors. Dancer and Bard more so than Machinist, but the fact remains that there's only 2 roles with the ability to interrupt enemy actions, and ranged DPS is one of them. Now, I'll be the first one to recognize that this is an absolute reach on my part. Describing all 3 of these jobs as Describing all 3 of these jobs as creative outlets for the Warrior of Light is something that I don't see described a lot of the time, and for good reason. It's not a great theory, but it wouldn't work at all if it weren't for the people of Eorzea. The role players, the people inside the game who just make cute glams, or what have you. If it weren't for the incredible amount of people that use Bard as an overglorified way to blast music into Limsa Lominsa, or the people who make cowboy glams or Magitek outfits for the machinists, or the dancers who actively make an attempt to look really cool in the game's one true end goal, I don't think I would have come to this conclusion. I've found that the ones who put the most effort into their outward appearance and expression through the game are the ones who play ranged DPS. And it's not through cowardice of the player always needing to be out of the way of any attack. No! It's just fun to be the guy in the back, looking all cute and shit. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I'm working on a ton of video ideas right now, just trying to get them all situated and scripted. There might be more Final Fantasy XIV stuff in the pipeline, who knows? But no matter what, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.